was no escape. It was like the Truman Show. It's supposed to be the most relaxing place ever, but we were stressed out of our minds. Lisa threw a lot of parties in her room. She's got amazing stamina. We have to get out of this. No! Hi, I'm Aimee Lou Wood, and I'm here with BuzzFeed to answer some burning questions about White Lotus Season 3. Okay, you've mentioned that you're very similar to your character, Chelsea. Is there anyone else who's very similar to their character, and who is the least like their character? Okay, so Mike, even if the behaviour isn't the same and the kind of circumstances, he does tend to cast actors through his incredible intuition that share an essence with their character, except for Patrick. Patrick is not Saxon in any way, shape or form. Michelle's not very Jacqueline either, actually, but I would say that Patrick was the most far away from his character. But the rest of us, there is something, there's something there that is shared. Which is why it can start to get a little bit claustrophobic and a little bit vulnerable. You've talked about how you asked your agents to get you an audition after watching the first 2 seasons, but then you tried to talk yourself out of it, yep. What made you decide to actually go for it? I actually was just revisiting this memory of when I was very, very, very shy when I was a kid. And my mum tried to get me to go to some drama classes to build up my confidence. All the girls in the class had to audition for Annie. We had to stand up and sing The Sun Will Come Out Tomorrow. I had practiced all week, then I couldn't do it, and I ran out the room crying. And so sometimes I have to catch myself and go, you're doing an Annie, and you need to just go for it. This is kind of what I do now, is as soon as the doubt creeps in and I give myself all these reasons as to not do something, I kind of just have to trick myself into doing it and not leave the room. Stay in the room, sing the song. How was it working with Mike White to develop the character of Chelsea? How did meeting him compare to your expectations? So I was really nervous to meet Mike because I just admire him so much and look up to him so much and have always wanted to work with him. And then weirdly on my first call with him, it just felt like home. It was so easy and I wasn't self-conscious at all. And he's a Cancer. I would say the most Cancer thing about him is his intuition. In terms of developing Chelsea, he kind of trusts the actors a lot and he doesn't really steer us in any particular direction because I think a lot of his genius lies in his intuition with casting. Like, we don't do any kind of chemistry tests or reads with our scene partners. Like, I'd never met Walton until the day the ladies had never met each other. The family had never met each other. So it's all very instinctive with Mike. Yeah, he kind of just was like, you're Chelsea, and go for it. It was always more, every time I was starting to wobble a bit, he could see it and he could be like, nope, trust yourself. It's true. It's good. What did the cast do together during downtime? Did you throw parties together? We did do a lot of debriefs, sitting on people's little terraces with cocktails and having just chats and analysing what was going on in this kind of crazy experience we were having. Leslie and I went to Tokyo, which was a real highlight. We just said we have to get out of this virtual reality and go back into the real world. So we went to Tokyo and we were saying the irony that our shoulders dropped and we felt so stress-free when we got into this bustling city, and we'd spent months on an island that's supposed to be the most relaxing place ever, but we were stressed out of our minds and I felt like a sim. I was in The Sims. So yeah, we did a little holiday but it was mainly just chats. Lots of people were more adventurous. Jason did a lot of boat trips with people. I did not attend. I tended to just sit with Leslie. Parties, Leslie did throw a great party. She says it wasn't her that threw it, but she did because she organised it all. I assisted the organisation. And Lisa threw a lot of parties in her room. She's got amazing stamina, actually.
What was the stress from? Just like working or living on top of each other?
How much it meant to us all. We were all fans of the show and then we were in it. So we don't want to let Mike down. We don't want to let each other down. You don't want to be the one. Like, this show is known as always having the best ensembles. You don't want to be the weak link. There was no escape. The world became just the hotel, that cast and crew. So it just becomes quite a pressure cooker. I said it was like the Truman Show. Unreal, but real. It was all very confusing, and I think the best thing would always be when we could find context again. Michelle's family came for a long time and that brought the outside world to us, and we were kind of like, what news abroad? You know, it was all very like that. And then when Sam came at the end, you know, Leslie's partner who did that incredible monologue, it felt again like we got a bit of the outside world coming in. So we just needed context. Would you be able to do an impression of Parker Posey's now iconic? Tsunami, Buddhism. No, Piper, no. I tend to do more actual Parker than Victoria, but my favourite is, you want to live in Taiwan? I love her. Did you spoil the season for your friends and family? Did you ever accidentally spoil a plot point to anyone? Yes. Yes. And I felt terrible because Fabio, who's the amazing stills photographer who does all the BTS, he's so kind and he takes these incredible photos and then he prints them off for everyone and he gives them to us as a gift. And I was just, you know, having a nice little walk down memory lane looking at the photos, left them out on my dryer and my flatmate was like, oh, what are these? And the spoilers within those photos. And he just looked, I came back when I saw him at home and he was like, I'm so angry. And I was like, why? And he was like, I've seen the photos, Aimee. I've seen the photos. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And it was so, yeah, I have accidentally, with my spaciness, I have ruined it for a few people. But it was very much accidental. And also, Alfie, don't go looking, okay? When the cast post BTS photos on the social media, is there a vetting process in case there are any spoilers in the photos? I think that we're all so paranoid that we probably check about 1 million times before we post anything. But actually it was so funny because on the last day, all of our last days, we did a kind of sentimental big post, all of us did it. I remember being like, am I allowed to post this picture of Patrick? Because Patrick and I started it together and we ended it together. Like my first scene was with him and my last scene was with him. We took this selfie and Mike was like, can I be in it? Can I be in it? I was like, of course you can be in it, Mike. Yes, please. And he got in and I said, but I can't post it, can I? Because I'm in costume and I don't want to give anything away. And Mike was like, oh no, you can post it. You can post. So he was like the most chill about it. Whereas we were all like, we can't post anything because someone's going to zoom in on a necklace or something like that. So, but Mike was actually incredibly chill about it. Did you take anything from set after filming wrapped? If so, what did you take? So I've just had this conversation that I didn't take any of Chelsea's costumes and I actually now I'm looking back and going, Alex, costume designer, can I have some of those? Because that black dress in episode 7 and the little shoes with the bow on, I actually need. But the only thing I took was my thing for my chair that said Chelsea on it. So I've got that and I've got the photos and I made photo albums for Leslie and Walton and me, so I've got a little photo album. But I didn't take many Chelsea things and I feel like I need to go back and ask for some Chelsea things.
We had Jason a few weeks ago and he said he took everything, so...
That checks. Jason is the quite carpe diem man. He seizes the day. He loves his snacks. I can imagine him just taking a whole bag of memories because he likes to juice the day. What is the wildest fan theory you've heard? Is there an Easter egg your surprise fans have spotted? The wildest one was the fact that they think that the gunman is a monkey. I was like, guys, come on. And then they make these very compelling arguments. Like, the theories are so well written that I start to go, I get it could be a monkey. And then I'm like, wait, I know what happens. That was crazy. And Michelle I love how Michelle was just like going out and just go, it's not the monkey. She just couldn't even be bothered entertaining that. So we're all like, it's not a monkey. But there are some things that people have started talking about recently. And I'm not going to say what because I don't want to give anything away, but there are things that are being noticed where I'm like, stop making the videos, be quiet, that I'm being tagged in and I'm like, no, it's like starting to feel very close. And so I'm very desperate for it to be Sunday.
It's an Easter egg when you're filming.
Yeah, and a few things were discussions with different departments, but also what you have to remember is that Mike loves a red herring. So he likes to throw people off the scent. So sometimes there's a lot of reverse psychology going on and you have to remember that he is always one step ahead and he's very mischievous and he likes to throw breadcrumbs and everyone starts following them very cleverly and then he's like, heh, you went the wrong way. Chelsea and Rick are the couple this season. How was working with Walton Goggins and getting to know him? It was so wonderful because it felt really instantly correct for those characters, and I think that again speaks to Mike's gut instinct The day that I found out I got the part, Dave Bernard, the producer, like put Walton and I on a text chain and was like, Rick, meet Chelsea, may you be cosmically linked forever. And we were like saying like, Rick, Chelsea! You know, because Walton was already cast before me. So I was very much cast as that specific Rick's Chelsea. And he is a Scorpio in real life, and I'm a Scorpio moon. Carrie Coon talked about how the cast couldn't get tan while filming because they were only supposed to be on vacation for a week. Are there any other surprising continuity details you have to deal with while filming? That's true, but it is also unavoidable. So sometimes I am watching it and I'm like, oh, that was definitely at the end. There was even, so I had a fake leg made so that the steak could actually bite a leg. The guy came and scanned my leg with this laser and then 3D printed it. It was all very futuristic. By the time the leg got there and we were filming that bit, my leg was a different colour. There's a picture of me that I put up and it's my leg next to the fake leg. Everything, the texture is so perfect pre-Thailand. I was like, oh my God, I've actually, because I don't tan, but I was like, oh my God, I've actually got a tan. Because this is a colour match and look, hello. And also freckles naturally start to come up. Hair changes colour in the sun. So there's a few times where I'm going, I'm brunette and I'm a redhead and I'm a blonde. It's like, and it's a week. When reading the scripts for season 3, what was the moment that made your jaw drop the most? The last episode. I just threw the script across the room and was like, what? It's 90 minutes long. There's still a lot of story that's not happened yet. The internet jokes that Chelsea's just hearing the most out-of-pocket nonsense this whole trip is so true. How has it been to really be the character that just observes? I love it. It's my favourite scenes to do are always ones where I don't have to speak that much and I just have to listen and respond and watch people do great acting. And I feel like Walton and I like the parallels of Rick and Chelsea both having to hear this kind of mad monologues that are occurring. And I love it because I always felt like Chelsea's kind of the audience. She's not staff and she's not a guest, really. She doesn't understand until very late on why she's even at the White Lotus. So I always felt like when I was playing her that I was the eyes in. I was able to just respond to what was going on. It was like, wow, the ocean, wow, Thailand. It could be very authentic because that's how I felt. I felt like the narrator a little bit.
Did you see everyone memeing your face from the last episode?
It's another funny thing because I've got a run, which I think you see in that little teaser for the last episode. I run to Rick. I was just saying that afterwards, Frank, one of the camera guys, was like, that was such a genius choice. That was so funny. That run you've chosen to do as Chelsea, it's so silly. It's so fun. And I was like, what? That's my run. That's just me running. But people thought I made a physical comedy choice, but it's just my run. And then the same thing with the faces. People are like, your facial expressions are hilarious. And I'm like, that's just my face. It's always been this way though. I've never really understood what is funny, but I'm like, if it's working, it's working. But that is just my face and it is just my run. Chelsea could interact with any character from one of the previous seasons of the show. Who would it be and why? Is there a character from this season that you wish Chelsea shared more scenes with? I think I would have loved to have something with the ladies. I love all three of them. I wish that there'd been a crossover there. I also wish that there'd been a crossover with Parker, with Victoria, because I feel like Chelsea and Victoria could actually get on really well because they're both kind of nuts. And in the previous season, I really believe that she would be best friends with Mia and Lucia. And also, I feel like she could get through to Tanya. I feel like she's one of like the only people that might actually be able to like get her kind of in the real world. It's almost like fighting fire with fire. It's like the two of them together would somehow diffuse the whole madness. Where would you like to see a potential season 4 take place? I think it should be somewhere cold because I think a huge part of the story is always like the heat. It's like Romeo and Juliet. It's like the heat is making everyone kind of act crazier and it's all kind of fiery and sweaty. And I would love to see that were in a ski resort. Like what would happen when the temperature is literally lower. And also that kind of clientele is very White Lotus, like skiers. You know, après ski, imagine the outfits. So I think somewhere cold, like the Alps or somewhere. Thank you so much, BuzzFeed. The finale airs on Sunday, HBO and Max. Don't miss it so that I can finally be free of my secrets.